Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Alien Conquest Polybag called the ADU Walker set. This is set number 30140. It has 34 pieces, and this was sent to me by a very, very kind viewer, a supporter of the channel, it's a set that I think they were sort of interested in more recently, and I am not familiar with this theme at all, but it seems right up my alley. This is a short-lived theme from 2011, and I think there was only something like 9 sets or so. 2, 4, 6, 7, and 9 if you include the poly bags, and then there's maybe a blister pack or something else of minifigures. So a small theme, not a lot of stuff in there, and I am super interested. So this is really great. Maybe after I look at these, I'll try to get my hands on some of the other boxed sets, but they do carry a bit of a premium at this point, including, a set that retailed for $20 might be going now for over 100, over 200, over 300. I'm thinking of the Tripod Invader, the UFO Abduction, Alien Mothership. The Alien Mothership looks really, really interesting to me, but this whole theme seems pretty cool. So, and then with the kind of recent 2024 CMF, the space CMF, and just all the space cross theme stuff and the space theme stuff in City, with the different aliens and stuff like that, I thought this was really, really interesting. This is I think a little bit unique for Lego space theme stuff. This Brickopedia website says that this is the first space theme to use the premise of aliens coming to Earth rather than like the Earthling minifigures going out into the astros or into the galaxies or into the cosmos and encountering other beings, other sentient life, Martians, aliens, whatever. So this is kind of unique in that sense, and in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. And again, huge thank you to the person that sent this to me. This was really incredible. So thank you very much. I'll talk more about that at the end. Enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Alien Conquest ADU Walker set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching. Thank you to the person who sent this to me. And now on to my review for this set. Okay, so this is the Lego Alien Conquest ADU Walker Polybag set. This is pretty fun, pretty cool. So one of the first things I am noticing, I don't know if I mentioned the price at the beginning because this was sent to me by somebody, so I didn't pay anything for it. I don't know what this retailed for or if it retailed back in 2011. I'm assuming $3, $4, something like that. If I remember correctly, after a cursory glance at Bricklink, I think these are still relatively affordable. I don't think it's a $20 polybag or anything like that. I'm going to kind of talk about the value in terms of the $5 mark that I use for a lot of polybags, but that's considering modern polybags instead of some other stuff. So if I'm looking for this one, this one might, I guess there are of these available. Cheapest one I'm seeing in the US is $12. There's some cheaper in the UK and maybe Lithuania, but I don't know. They're available to some extent. It looks like some people have a lot of them. it looks like one person or somebody, a shop maybe in the UK has 40 of them, and stuff like that. So they're out there, but they are, I guess, a little bit pricier than a lot of polybags might seem to be. So I'm going to be talking about it in terms of that. The person that sent this to me, I don't know what they spent on this, so I can't really comment on that. But again, huge thank you to that person. It means a lot to me. So that's very, very cool. And we will get into this. And the first thing we'll take a look at is the minifigure, because it does come with one. Essentially, this set Polybag is like a minifigure plus. It's kind of like a minifigure and some accessories, which I think is a really good idea. It's pretty small, but it's nice. So the first minifigure we have here is an ADU computer specialist is what this person is called. Now ADU, it's called the ADU Walker. ADU in Alien Conquest stands for Alien Defense Unit. So this is somebody that is, I think, trying to protect the minifigures from the invading aliens, and the aliens are trying to steal the minifigures' brain power or something like that, as I understand it. So we have this ADU computer specialist here. So this is really, really cool. I love the helmet piece here. It has really some nice kind of molding designs, like these lines kind of indented in there. Same around the back. We have the indent kind of coming here with grooves into it. A pretty unique mold. I'm actually trying to think if there was some stuff in the newest CMF, I think Series 26, the space one from this year, if they referenced any Alien Conquest stuff. And if I'm thinking about it, maybe the imposter, maybe... I'm not really sure, actually, but I don't believe this helmet was there. And this helmet's really cool. I like the color a lot. This blue was used for a lot of the ADU stuff, for their vehicles, for the minifigures and all that, which I think is really, really nice. The visor is a separate piece, so you do pop that in there, but it can't really open or close just because it fits under the kind of lip on the brim and over this kind of part around the mouth area. Looking at the face underneath there, we got kind of a aggressive, maybe cocky looking thing here. We also have an alternate face, which looks more surprised, more concerned, worried. So pretty actually different faces there. And then with the helmet off, we can look at the torso. The torso is really, really great. So it has this ADU printed on it in the middle, and then some really good details here, including like these wrinkles on maybe where their shirt, their uniform or something is tucked into the pants. So there's little wrinkles up there underneath the kind of vest thing. There's some more, the zipper down the front. The vest kind of has these like straps going around the shoulders and down to the waist. All that is really, really nice. Some good graphic design overall. Even the face has some details that I didn't pick up on right away, which is really nice. So like the torso a lot. The midsection is printed, so it has kind of these straps kind of coming down to a belt area. And then we do have printing on the legs as well, so kind of up at the top here and then down in kind of the knee area. Nothing on the feet, nothing on the arms, nothing on the side of the leg. Looking at the back of the torso, again, we get the ADU there. It's a little bit bigger, kind of have these straps on the back where this like vest thing kind of maybe goes over their head. And then we have, again, kind of those little details around the waist on the back for where their shirt underneath is tucked in. I think this is a really good minifigure. It's good quality. I mean, I guess sometimes Lego really impresses me, other times not. When I think about other sets, when I looked at like Nexonite sets, which are a little bit after the Alien Conquest, or Chima sets, which are a little bit after, those had some really detailed minifigures as well. Lego sets in 2024 can have really good details as well. I'm kind of assuming that this leg piece and the torso piece were maybe used for a lot of ADU minifigs. So in several different sets, they probably had multiples of these, or they could afford to make these. It doesn't appear to me to be like that there's different characters who might have more unique stuff here. So in some ways it makes sense, but I think this is a well-produced minifigure. Very happy to get that. I think the helmet's super cool. So that's really nice. And then the rest of the set, the rest of this polybag is this ADU walker. So it's a little bit of build. It's a tiny build, but fitting for a polybag. And what it amounts to is pretty much a minifig accessory, but it's almost like a precursor to some of the mechs we saw and see even later. I don't know if Lego was doing like formally things called mechs at this time, or maybe they've been doing that for a long time because the concept has existed for such a long time. But this has some elements that reminds me of like the Captain America mech I looked at, which was before they had the molded kind of leg and arm pieces with the pre-bend around the knee and the elbow. It reminds me a little bit of that, but some other stuff too. Right off the bat here, colors are really nice. You got a little bit of gray, a little bit of yellow popping through there, and then the blue. I think that's all really good. You start by using this 1x4, add a couple clips and a 2x2. Then we add these nice yellow plates with the clip there, a couple of the orange cones on the back, the 1x2 with the bars on both sides there. And then this interesting piece, kind of that I never know what to call it, up on top. We add these on the side. I think those are kind of supposed to be like lights or blasters, if this is to be believed. It seems they're maybe blasting from these, so that's really cool. Super simple build there. No stud shooters or anything, but very cool. And then we build the legs. The legs are identical, so it's just the modified plate with the bar, 2 of those for each leg. The one that's kind of clipped onto the body of this is the one in the back, and then the one in the front kind of attaches to the feet. The feet are identical, but mirrored, so I guess not identical. They're the same pieces, similar configuration, just mirrored right to left, and they actually work really well. You can see this is the older style of like 1x2 with the clip there, where it has this lip and there's like this gap kind of between this slope and the back of that slope and the place. There's kind of that little indent there, and that's something that they've changed since this time. But overall, I think this is nice. It has a little bit of limited range of motion, so we can like really get the legs at the hips kind of bent, but coming down when they're down here, you know, you can move these forward a good amount. You can't move these back too much. This cheese wedge prevents that a little bit, as does the kind of body waist of this kind of walking armor kind of accessory thing here. So not a ton of articulation, not a ton of range of motion, but still pretty good. I think you can still get it and pose it in some walking stances that make sense. And then I can pop the minifigure in here. They pilot this essentially by clipping onto these bars there, and then this is like a extension for their legs a little bit, and I think that's cool. It's interesting to see. You know, it doesn't always have to be a suit or something that has legs and arms and this and that and the other thing. You know, just a little extra something for the legs is enough sometimes, and I think this works. So I like that. You can kind of tilt it a little bit. You could, I think, tilt them forward. It's pretty well balanced, so I'm not too worried about it. It's got a relatively low center of gravity, and it doesn't have a ton of articulation, no like ball joints or anything like that, but you can get it into some kind of walking like stances, which is nice. And I think this is really cool altogether. You know, for a polybag from 2011, you know, I don't know if this was a gift with purchase or if it was on shelves or what the price was. 34 pieces is probably a little bit light compared to a lot of polybags, but because it has a minifigure, and in my opinion, especially in 2024, I feel like this is, for a vintage figure, kind of really nice, or, you know, a figure that's over 10 years old is nice quality and stuff. I think this is really, really cool and really fair. I also could see this being something that people bought a lot of and had a whole army of these, a whole battalion or grouping or family of these ADU walkers here in the ADU computer specialists. So I think that's really cool, having like a bunch of these march or walk together or just be hanging around together. It's like a minifigure, but a little bit taller. And I also really like the idea that maybe this could be like communicating with another minifigure who's not on that and kind of having an awkward conversation there just because they're barely different heights. And this is a great toy and really, really fun. So I like this a lot, and it's pretty interesting. Again, a theme I didn't really know anything about. This is a very cool kind of introduction to this theme. So I'll show the extra pieces. You get an extra of the visor and an extra of the yellow cheese wedge. And now that I'm looking at this visor, it's almost like, I don't know if you can see that. Is it clear or is it have like a little bit of yellowing on it? And is the other one also yellowing? I don't believe so, but I'm not sure if they're supposed to be different or if they are just old, or maybe that's how they did clear, back in the day. And I want to make sure it's not just my, skin tone coming out underneath there. They have like a tint to them that makes me feel like they're a little bit yellowed or have like a little bit of something in them. And maybe that's how they used to do clear. I think that lines up with my childhood experience, even though that was, well before these were coming out. So that's kind of unique. I don't think they encounter that anymore. I know Lego pieces can yellow, especially white pieces, if left in the sun, can kind of yellow. I don't know if that happened to clear pieces too. This Polybag is not really clear at all or transparent at all, so it's in some ways kind of protected from sunlight, and depending on how it was stored and whatever, but that's just something I'm noticing. But just those two extra pieces, and this set is 34 pieces, one minifigure, and this was sent to me via a very, very kind viewer, which I really, really appreciate. So thank you so much. That's kind of another way people can support the channel here, because I get to talk about stuff, and it's just really, really exciting and fun, and I do try to give back to those people as well. So that's really, really meaningful. I was going to compare this to about $5, which maybe is what it retailed at back in the day, but I'm not positive. It seems like... Oh, yeah, okay, that's interesting. In the UK, this set could only be obtained from winning a competition which was hosted by The Sun newspaper. So I don't know if in the US this had... if it was just on shelves or not, or if it was a gift with purchase. I'm not really sure. It does say it was promotional, so that's really interesting. And considering that, the prices now in the aftermarket maybe make a little more sense. It's been 10 years or plus since this came out, so I think that's kind of fair. I think $5 was probably great for it. If it was 2011, maybe it was $3, $4. If I saw this in the shelves today and it was $5, I would buy it. And I would think that's perfectly reasonable. In the aftermarket, if a person was to buy these, like this exact set sealed for $10 to $12, I don't know if that's as worth it based on what's in the bag, but for the experience, for a piece of Lego history, for a set and a theme that I think has been somewhat forgotten, is its own kind of special, unique thing. So I guess that makes sense. I don't know if it's going to go up in price in the future or not. I do know that some of the boxed sets from Alien Conquest are pretty pricey now when compared to their original retail price and their piece counts. But this seems, still relatively affordable. I'm just very, very grateful for the person that sent this to me. It really means a lot. It's a really great thought, and I appreciate it. So in terms of value, I hope that if they bought these, they got their value out of them. And if other people do, that's great. It's a little bit tricky to address value when it was sort of gifted to me, but or even if it was traded to me or anything like that. But based on kind of the price I'm seeing on the aftermarket and what I'm guessing was the retail price, I feel like the value here is reasonable and makes sense. So that's it. And I really like this. Can't wait to look at some more Alien Conquest. So huge thank you again to the person that sent this my way. And I think that's it. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including maybe more LEGO Alien Conquest, more polybags, tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count. So subscribe so you don't miss those upcoming LEGO videos. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers now. We've officially crossed, and as the time of recording this, maintained a subscriber account of over 1,000. So on to the next milestone. Thank you so much for everybody who's already subscribed, everybody who watches, likes, comments. All of that stuff is really, really meaningful to me, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much. And then if you wanted to support this channel in another way, you could do that here on YouTube. And another way could be sending sets or polybags or small things, or getting in correspondence with me, outside of YouTube or whatever, and working things out. But also you can give money to the channel on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. Those things are not necessary. They're not needed, but they are a big help, and they do mean a lot to me as well. So thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.